Hello, welcome once again to SM online math class. So in this video, we are going to focus on the Unizik post-UTME past questions. So we want to help the students that are about to write their post-UTME in Unizik. Alright, so if you are a student of engineering or medicine, so I extracted the questions that have come out in mathematics in your post-UTME. So this is just the past question that have come out previously. And for today's video, we'll focus on the 2017-2018 academic session. Alright, so the first question in mathematics says, if x minus 1 is a factor of 3x cubed plus ps squared plus 5x minus 3p, we should find the value of p. You can see option A is minus 2, 2, 4, and 3. So the question here is for us to find the value of p if x minus 1 is a factor of this particular polynomial. If you are conversant with polynomials, you will know what we call the factor theorem. If a particular expression is a factor of another of higher degree, it means that if I equate this with 0 to get a value for x and plug it into this particular polynomial, whatever it gives me must be equal to 0. That is the idea for it to be a factor. Being a factor means there is no remainder when this particular term divides this. Therefore, when we have x minus 1, let us equate with 0 to get the value of x. So here it means that x is 1 because when 1 comes over here, it becomes positive. So because this is a factor of this particular polynomial, I will get f of 1. It means that f of 1 must be equal to 0. That's the implication since it's a factor. If there is a remainder it is leaving, they will tell you the remainder. Then you equate with the remainder. Therefore, let us get f of 1. So f of 1 means plugging in 1 in this polynomial, which I have 3 sin x, I'll put 1 to the power of 3, plus p sin x, I'll put 1 to the power of 2, plus 5 sin x, I'll put 1, then minus 3p, it must be equal to 0 because it is a factor of it. So 1 power of 3 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 power of 2 is 1, 1 times p is p, plus 5 times 1 is 5, then minus 3p equal to 0. Now 3 plus 5 is 8, p minus 3p will give us minus 2p equal to 0. Now let minus 2p come over here. We shall have that 8 is equal to 2p because when it comes here is positive. To get the value of p, I will divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. So 8 divided by 2 will give us 4. So the answer is option C. So this is number 1 question. Let us take the second one. The second question says we should find the value of x for which this is equal to 96. You can see the options. So let us solve this and get back at the answer immediately. So this is index 6. We have 3 into 2 power of 4x plus 3 is equivalent to 96. If I were you, the first thing I would do is to divide both sides by 3 because this 3 is affecting this particular base. So let me divide both sides by 3 so that that term can stay alone. By 3 will cancel out. So I'll have 2 power of 4x plus 3 equals, when I divide 96 by 3, 3 divide 9 is 3, 3 divide 6 is 2, so it's giving me 32. Now, to solve index 6, make sure that the base in the left-hand side is equal to the base in the right-hand side. So I can write 2 power of 4x plus 3 is equivalent to 2 power of 5, because 2 power of 5 will give me 32. 2 times 2 times 2 into 5 times is equivalent to 32. So this will cancel out because they're equivalent. We shall now have that 4x plus 3 equal to 5. Let us equate the index 6. Now 3 will come here. We'll have 4x equals 5 minus 3. And 5 minus 3 will give us 2. To get the value of x, I'll divide both sides by 4. I'll have over 4 over 4. 4 cancels out. So x is 1 over 2 because 2 here is 1 and 2 here is 2. So x is 1 over 2. So this is option C again for number 2. Let's take the number 3. Okay, the third question is saying that we should find the range of values of x for which 7x minus 3 is greater than 3x plus 4. You can see the options as well. So we have 7x minus 3 is greater than 3x plus 4. Collect like terms. The letters will meet letters and the numbers will meet numbers. So we have 7x. 3x coming here is minus 3x. Greater than, we have 4 here already. Minus 3 crossing over is plus 3. 7x minus 3x will give us 4x greater than 7. When I add 4 and 3, I'm getting 7. So to get rid of this 4, I will divide both sides by 4. That's the coefficient of x. This cancels out. So x is greater than 7 over 4. So you can see it's option B this time around, greater than. Mind the signs. Let's take the fourth question. Okay, the fourth question is saying that the minimum value of y equals x squared minus 4x minus 5 is what? You can see the options there. Now, to get the minimum value of any function, you need to know what minimum value is all about. For instance, if you have a Cartesian plane here where you have your y-axis and x-axis, any curve like this will have a minimum value. But if it is this way, this is x and this is y, and it is this way, it has a maximum value. And again, whenever the coefficient is greater than 0, if coefficient of our x squared is greater than 0, that is a, because coefficient of x squared is a, this is b, and this is c. So if a is greater than 0, it means it must have a minimum value. But if a is less than 0, it has a maximum value. So as you can see, the coefficient is 1, and 1 is greater than 0. That is why the question is requiring you to find the minimum value. Okay. Now, there are so many ways in which the minimum value of a function can be got. One is to using the formula f of minus b over 2a. You can use it. You get the answer immediately. So what is minus b? B is already minus 4 here. So minus b over 2a is the same thing as minus minus is now 4 over 2 times a. Our a is 1, the coefficient. So this will give us 4 over 2, which is 2. Which means we've got minus b over 2a as 2. So f of minus b over 2a is the same thing as f of 2, which I'm going to put into in this particular function. So this is now 2 squared minus 4 bracket 2, then minus 5 to get the minimum value. This is now 2 squared is 4, minus 4 times 2 is minus 8 minus 5. 4 minus 8 is minus 4, then minus 5. We shall get negative 9. So the answer is D. If I don't like this method, I am still free to use differentiation, because you get the minimum value at the y over the x equal to 0. So now, let us differentiate. We have y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Dy dx will give me, if I differentiate x squared, I will get 2x. If I differentiate minus 4x, I will get just minus 4. Any constant to differentiate is 0. But it is minimum at dy over the x equal to 0. So we equate this with 0. 2x minus 4 is 0. So 2x is 4 when this comes over. Divide both sides by 2 to get the value of x. So you see that x is 2. Then the value of x for which the function is minimum is 2. But to get the minimum value, put x as 2 here to get the value of y, because y owns the function. So y will now be 2 squared minus 4 bracket 2 minus 5. When you simplify this, you will still get minus 9. There is another formula, another way of doing it is writing it in the vertex form, but we shouldn't waste time to do it in this particular video. Alright, so the answer is negative 9, option D. So let's take another one. Number 5 says, the chances of 3 independent events, x, y, and z, occurring are 1 over 2, 2 over 3, and 1 over 4, respectively. What are the chances of y and z only occurring? Which means they want y and z to occur, but x will fail, because they said, what are the chances of y and z only occurring? So probability of only y and z implies probability of y times probability of z times 1 minus probability of x. The reason I'm putting 1 minus probability of x is because they say that x will not occur because only y and z will occur. It means that x has failed. And probability of failure will be 1 minus probability of success. Probability of x succeeding is 1 over 2. So to get probability of x failing, which means they don't want x to occur, should be 1 minus probability of x. That's what you should know here. Now probability of y, look at y here, is 2 over 3 times probability of z is 1 over 4 times 1 minus probability of x, which is 1 minus 1 over 2. This is probability of x 1 over 2. So this will give us 2 over 3 times 1 over 4 times 1 minus half is still half. So 2 we cancel 2. We shall have 1 times 1 is 1 over 3 times 4 is 12. So the answer is 1 over 12, option C. Okay, so let's take another one. Number 6 says we should find the number of sides of a regular polygon if each of the interior angles of the polygon is 150 degrees. That is, each of the angle is 150. Remember, a polygon is just any plane shape that is bounded by 3 or more straight lines. Now you should know that the exterior, assuming if x is exterior angle and y is interior angle, for instance, x plus y will be 180 degrees because the interior angle and the exterior angle of every polygon lie on the same straight line. So here we are told that each of the interior angle is 150. Okay, so which means x plus y, which is the interior angle, is 150 equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, if I want to get the exterior angle, it will now be 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. And when I subtract, I will get 30 degrees. So each exterior angle of this polygon is 30 degrees. But that is not what we are asked to get. We are asked to get the number of sides of the polygon. And you should know that the sum of the angles of or sum of the exterior angle of every polygon is 360 degrees. Then if you want to get each of the angle, it means you are dividing by the number of sides to get each angle. Sum of all the angles is 360. So each angle is now 360 all over what? N equal to 30 because the each angle here is 30 degrees. Cross multiply, we shall have 30n is 360. Divide both sides by 30 to get the number of sides. You cancel out, 0 cancel 0. So when you take this division, you are getting 12 sides. So it's option D. If you don't understand this method, look at another way you can still do it. We can use directly the interior angle. The sum of interior angle of every polygon is n minus 2 into 180, or you use 2n minus 4 right angles. So you can still use this. So this is the sum of all the angles. So each angle will now be n minus 2 over 180 divided by n. This is the formula for each of the angle. This is for all of them, 2 together. If you now want to get each of the angle, you are dividing by n. And we are told that each of these angle is 150 according to the equation. So you cross multiply, you have n minus 2 into 180 equals 150n. Open the bracket, you have 180n minus 360 equals 150n. Collect like terms, this will come here, we have 180n minus 150n equals minus 360 crossing over is positive 360. When I subtract, I will get 30n is equivalent to 360. To get the value of n, divide both sides by 30. Of course, when you divide 360 by 30, you are still getting 12 sides. So no matter the method you are using here, you must arrive at the same answer. Let's take the 7th question. Okay, in the 7th question, we are asked to simplify one whole number 1 over 2 over 2 divided by 1 over 4 of 16. Simply apply the rule of BODMAS. Now let us consider this denominator first. So considering the denominator, considering our denominator now, denominator we have 2 divided by 1 over 4 of 16. So let us get the bracket first according to BODMAS. So 1 over 4 of 16 means 1 over 4 times 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So what we are having here is just 2 divided by 4 here. This will give us 1 over 2. Okay, so the denominator is 1 over 2. Our numerator is just 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. Why this is 1 over 2 for the denominator. So we have 3 over 2 over 1 over 2. That's what we're having, because numerator is 3 over 2. Why denominator we've got as 1 over 2. This can be written as 3 over 2. I'll change division to multiplication and turn upside down. We have 2 over 1. 2 cancels out. We have just 3 left. So the answer is just 3. So it's option A. Let's take the 8th question. Okay, the 8th question says, which of the following lines is not parallel to the line x minus 2y equals 5? There are so many lines written here from option A, B, C, D, but they are requiring us to find a line which is not parallel to this given line. Remember, 2 lines are said to be parallel if their slope are the same thing, or if their gradient are the same thing. When the gradient of 2 or more lines are equal, it means that they are parallel. But if they are perpendicular, it becomes a different case altogether. All right. Now, to answer this question, it means that we are going to find the gradient of all these lines one after the other, then compare the one that is odd. For this one, to get the gradient, we must make y the subject of the formula. So from here, we have x minus 2y equals 5, which means x is equal to, or rather, minus 2y equals minus x plus 5. I moved x to this side, it changes to negative. So I'll divide everything by 2, by negative 2, by negative 2, by negative 2. This cancels out, so y is now minus, we cancel out, half x minus 5 over 2. This is for the equation. Now for option A, in option A we have x minus 2y plus 7 equals 0. Now let us still make y subject of the formula. We still have minus 2y equals minus x minus 7. I'm moving minus x and 7 to the right hand side. Their signs will change. So I'll divide both sides by minus 2 to get the value of y. This will cancel out. Minus will cancel minus. Minus will cancel minus. So here y is equal to half x plus 7 over 2. I'll come to option B. Option B, we have 2x minus 4y minus 1 equals 0. So I have minus 4y equals, this one coming here is minus 2x plus 1, making y subject to the formula. So I'll divide by minus 4 over minus 4 over minus 4. This cancels out, so y is, this will cancel to give us 1 over 2x minus 1 over 4. Then I'll go to C. In option C, I have x plus 2y minus 3 equals 0. So 2y equals, x coming here is minus x, minus 3 coming here is plus 3, divide by 2, divide by 2. So I have that y is minus 1 over 2x plus 3 over 2. I'll go to D, the last one, where I have 16x minus 32y plus 9 equals 0. So minus 32y equals negative 16x is negative, then minus 9. Divide both sides by negative 32, negative 32, negative 32. This will cancel out, so y is negative cancel negative. We still have 1 over 2x plus 9 over 32. Now, the gradient of every line is the coefficient of x when y is made the subject of the formula. In option D, I have 1 over 2, and the equation, the gradient is still 1 over 2. So D is allowed. Go to option A. I have 1 over 2 also, which is the same thing with my equation, is allowed. Go to B. I have 1 over 2, which is the same thing with my equation, is allowed. But in number C, I have negative 1 over 2, which is odd. Therefore, the line that is not parallel to the given line is option C. So C is the answer. All right, so let's take the number 9 question. Okay, so let's take the number 9 question. we are asked to find sine A plus B. This is double angle formula, which you can expand as sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. That's just it. So you need sine A, which we have sine A here. Cos B, we have cos B. But we don't have cos A and we don't have sine B. So we need to get cos A and sine B before the answer comes out. Alright, so that's the expansion. So whenever you see something like this, this is just the expansion. But let us use this one to get the value of cos B. This is a right angle triangle. And let's say here is angle A. And we have sine A equals 4 over 5. And you know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Which means the opposite is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. You can get this side using Pythagoras theory. But you need to be fast in aptitude test examination like this. Whenever you see 4, 5, you should know that the third side should be 3 from Pythagorean triple. Okay? So now, let us get cos B because we need it here. Cos A. So cos A is just adjacent over hypotenuse. And adjacent is 3, hypotenuse is just 5. In this same triangle here, where you have cos B is 12 over 13. This is still a right angle triangle. If this is my B, for instance, and you know that cos B is 12 over 13, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So my adjacent is 12, hypotenuse is 13. You can use Pythagoras theory to get here. But if you are wise, you know Pythagorean triple. If you see 12, 13, the next one should be 5. You can use Pythagoras theorem and still get it. Therefore, sine B here will be opposite, which is 5, over hypotenuse, which is 13. This is just what I'm going to plug in here. I will get my answer. So therefore, seeing sine A, I will put 4 over 5 times cos B. Cos B is given 12 over 13 plus cos A. Cos A is 3 over 5, as you can see. 3 over 5 times cos B. Sine B is 5 over 13. 5 over 13. 5 cancel 5. Here, nothing can divide here. So we have 4 times 12 is 48 over 5 times 3 is 65. 65 plus 3, because this is 1, this is 1. We have 3 over 13 here. Now the LCM is still 65. 65 divided 65 will give us 1. 1 times 48 is 48. Plus this divide this will give us 5. 5 times 3 is 15. When we add together, we shall get 63. 63 all over 65. And the option is option A. That's just how to deal with question like this. Let's take the next one. The 10th question says, how much will 200,000 naira amount to at 12% simple interest over 4 years? This is simple interest, and simple interest is principal times rate times time all over 100. So principal is 200,000 times the rate of 12% times time of 4 years, everything all over 100. So 0 we cancel 0, 0 we cancel 0. So have 4 times 12 is 48. So have 2,000 times 48. So let's see 2,000 multiplied by 48. We can call this 4,800. 48,000 by 2, which is 96,000. This will give us 96,000. 96,000 naira. This is just the interest. But you know that we are looking for amount. Amount A is principal plus interest. And the principal is 200,000 plus the interest, which we've got as 96,000. So when you add together, this is giving us 296,000 naira. And that should be option B. So this is just the amount at 12% per annum, simple interest. Let's take the next one. All right, the 11th question says, given that the cube root of 4 power of 2x is equal to 16, that we should find the value of x. So this is cube root of 4 power of 2x equals 16. This can be written as 4 power of 2x. Cube root means 1 over 3 equals 16. That's the implication. Now, if I like, I can call this 4 power of 2x over 3, because 2x times 1 is 2x all over 3. 16 can be written as 4 power of 2. You cancel out. Therefore, 2x all over 3 is equal to 2 over 1. Cross multiply. 2x is 6. So to get the value of x, you divide both sides by 2. When you do that, you see that x is just 3. So it is option B for number 11. So let's take the last question. So the last question says we should factorize 35 minus 2b minus b squared. So you can rearrange this as minus b squared minus 2b plus 35. You can write it this way. So use this to multiply this, you get minus 35b squared. Think of two numbers you will times to get minus 35b squared. If you add, you get minus 2b. You should be getting like minus 7b and plus 5b, because minus 7b times 5b is minus 35b squared. Minus 7b plus 5b will give us minus 2. So we shall have minus b squared minus 7b plus 5b plus 35. The common factors here is just minus b. Divide this by this, you have b plus 7, because when you divide this by this, it turns to positive. Plus the common factor here is just 5. This is still b plus 7. You must ensure that the two brackets are the same. If they are not the same, you failed. Then writing it properly, we have b plus 7, which is common, remaining minus b plus 5 or 5 minus b. Either you write minus b plus 5 or you say 5 minus b. So this is the factorized form of this particular expression. Now, if you've enjoyed what you've watched, kindly hit the red button to subscribe to my channel. It will give you notification whenever a new episode of this will come out, because we'll be writing and bringing out solutions to so many years of Unizik post UTME past question. Share to your loved ones and do have a great day.